Herkese merhaba. Kingdom Come'da hikayemize 17. bölümüyle devam ediyoruz. Evet, bir önceki bölümde hatırlarsanız Capon'u hasaretten kurtarmıştık ve bu bölümde de bu sarayın kızıyla, ismi Saray'dı herhalde, tam hatırlayamıyorum ama onunla yakınlaşmıştık. Şimdi de buradaki yönetime sızmaya çalışıyoruz. Yönetimin özellikle Kral Sigismund'un yanlısı olduğunu biliyoruz. Onların planlarını açığa çıkarmaya çalışıyoruz çünkü bir toplantı yapıyorlardı. Ee, Bakalım, bir önceki bölümde hatırlarsanız ya daha önceki bölümlerde para eritip ne oluyor lan? Abicim, sarhoş adamla uğraşamayacağım şimdi. Hatırlarsanız kralın parasını eritip kaçıran bir kişi vardı. Ona şantaj yapacağız. Hadi bakalım. Ona doğru gidiyorum. Bir yandan da çok ağırız. Hızlı koşamıyoruz galiba. Malzemelerimizi satabileceğim şuraya satalım. Malzemelerimizi. Çok ağırız ya. Herhalde.
Good day to you. I'll be. What can I do for you? I hope you'll be satisfied, my friend.
Güzel. Şükürler olsun ya. Koşmaya başladım tekrar. Pekala. Buraya gidelim. Darphane amiri Vavak'tan şehir konseyine nasıl gidileceğini öğreneceğiz. Şantaj yapacağız daha doğrusu. Öğrenmekten ziyade. Bu ağırlık üzerimizde kötü etki olarak kaldı ama. Aranan bir suçlusun ama çeviklik, canlılık ve gizlilikte bonusların olduğundan seni yakalamak kolay iş değil. Aranan bir suçlu muyum? Birilerini bayılttık biz. Doğru. Bir önceki bölümde Capone'u kurtarırken birilerini bayılttık. O yüzden aranan bir suçluyuz. Tamam. İlginç yani. Evet, Kuttenberg'teyiz. Kuttenberg'in güzel sokaklarıyla hikayemize devam ediyoruz. Bir yandan da buranın dışında başka bir yerde görevler var mı acaba? Merak ediyorum. Muhtemelen başka bir şehir görmeyeceğiz. Öyle düşünüyorum ama. O adam nerede bu arada? Şöyle bir bakayım haritaya. Oha, bu adam öbür sokakta. Abicim ama yani sen dikkatli ol ama yani koskoca yolun ortasından gidiyorsun. Ablacığım, geçemiyor
God
muyum?
grant you health, sir.
Allah Allah.
I apologize.
Ne güzel insanlar ya. Ben onlara vuruyorum, onlar özür diliyor.
God be with you, my friend.
Ama ben buraya gitmem gerekiyormuş. Burası İstanbul trafiği gibi arkadaşlar. Ne böyle? Ay. Ha, burası gideceğim ya. Muhafız. Haydi bakalım. Aha, Vavak. Ne haber Vavak?
Glad to see you again.
You have the gall to show me your face again? I'll call the guards.
Hold your horses.
Kendine mukayyet ol.
Come in peace. Actually, I have a little offer for you.
You've come to blackmail me again?
Çok
Call it what you like.
zekisin, çok zekisin.
I need to get into the city council assembly, and I reckon you can help me.
The assembly? The one King Sigismund is supposed to attend in person?
Vay vay vay, Sigismund benim kralım değil, kralı görmek istiyorum.
Surely you wouldn't deny me a chance to meet the king.
Don't try that on me. This is connected with Ruthard, isn't it?
Hayır.
And tell the truth.
Sigismund'un konseyden ne istediğini öğrenmek istiyorum. Kendimi yüksek sosyeteye tanıtmak istiyorum. Seni ilgilendirmez. Böyle diyeceğim.
I want to know what Sigismund tells the council. I hear it'll be important.
You want to spy? Do you know what you're risking? And what I'd be risking? Forget it.
Have you forgotten I have you over a barrel? If you want to keep your position and your head on your shoulders, you'd better shape up.
All right, all right. Maybe we can make a deal. If I get you into the council, you'll behave appropriately and you won't betray yourself, or especially me. And that will be the end of our business together.
Pekala, anlaştık. Bu karar vermek sana düşmez. Birkaç groşene ne dersin? Anlaştık abi.
Right. That seems like a fair deal.
You can get into the council assembly relatively easily. My cook's son will be serving there. He's roughly around your age. Maybe he can be persuaded to let you stand in for him. Although, not everyone would want to give up an opportunity to serve the King of Hungary.
Adı ne? İş için neye ihtiyacım var? Bu olanı nerede bulabilirim? İşbirliği yapmasını nasıl sağlayacağım?
What would work on him? How can I persuade him to give me his job?
Would you like me to give you a letter for him? I told you how to get to the assembly. Now do your part.
Allah Allah. Abi adını bari söyle.
Who's this boy?
Franta's his name.
Franta.
Cooldown. He's an idler and a boozer, but he's proved his worth as a waiter. Which reminds me, you'll need his letter of permission to serve in the council. Otherwise, you won't be let inside.
İş için neye ihtiyacım var? Bu olanı nerede bulabilirim? Başka neye ihtiyacım var
What
peki?
will I need to work as a waiter there?
Fast feet and good manners. And the livery of a royal waiter.
Excuse me?
Do you think you can serve the king in a torn shirt and muddy hose?
Well, no. But I never heard about any livery before.
Our usual waiter had a brand new livery made specially for meeting the king. Don't even show up there without it.
Where can I find the cook's boy?
He's supposed to pick up his new clothes at the market today from Master Tailor Schneider. You'll almost certainly run into him there. That is, if he's up and about after his boozing bout. I swear that fellow practically lives at that Tin Hen.
At the what?
That German alehouse, the Iron Eagle. That is Zum Eisernen Adler.
I'll be going then. See you at the council.
Just make sure we both come out of it alive.
Kralın garsonluk belgesini al. Kralın garsonluk kıyafetlerini al. Pekala. Zor olacak sanırım bu iş. Vay vay vay. Doğa ne güzel ya. Yemin ediyorum. Şimdi şöyle bir bakalım haritaya. Şimdi burada ikisi de burada. Pazarın olduğu yere gideceğiz. Orada önce çocuğu bulmamız lazım. Adı Franta'ymış. Franta'nın kimliği nasıl şey yapabiliriz bilemedim. Alkol falan içsek, bayılsak. He? Yaparız öyle şeyler bence. O ne abicim? Birileri çürümüş meyve düşürmüş buraya. Hay dur. Şuradan gideyim tekrar. Bu sokak daha nezih. Nezih dediğim de yerde at bokları var. Neyse artık ya. Bak bu saatte içenlerden bir tanesi o zaman. Franta. Kasabalı. Aha. Şimdi D görevine daha erken geldik. D görevi hangisi bu arada? D kıyafetlerini alacağız. Garson belgesini de C'de alacağız. Şimdi kıyafetler terzi. Terzi şurası değil miydi? Yok. Nerede bulacağım abi ben bunu? Buralarda bir yerde terzi bulmam lazım.
Quality goods, the finest wear.
Tüccar. Terzi mi? Keşfettim. Terzi sen misin?
Come and take a gander.
Terzi arkada da
Now
olabilir.
they only ache when there's a storm coming.
That's handy, isn't it? At least you know when to round up the cattle and gather in the
Silah ustası da varmış burada bu arada. Heh. Terziyi buldum. Terziyi buldum da terzi kendisi burada değil. Merhaba ablacığım.
Jesus Christ be praised.
Yani konuşma
Show me
böyle mi
where.
başlanıyor? Allah Allah. Bildiğim böyle bir şeyler satmaya çalışıyor. Biz kendi kıyafetlerimize bakalım. Bir karizmamızı artıran bir item var mı? 18 fena değil. Şimdi şöyle bir bakalım. Başka...
Nothing.
Bu arada atımıza da bir şeyler alalım istiyorum.
What would you say to...
You won't You see? Thanks. And have a nice day, friend. Come and take a gander. We've got it all.
Pekala. Evet, burada şimdi arkadaşın şeyini arayacağız. Ama üst kat gösteriyor ama. Nerelerde arayabiliriz? Yok. Tam olarak bu seviyede. Allah Allah. Üst katta gösteriyor ama. Aha. Burası. Olabilir mi?
Quality goods. Come closer and take a look. Greetings.
Burada değil. Ama buralarda olması lazım.
Shoes here. Shoe repair. Repair while you wait.
Eğerci. Franta. İşte buldum.
Greetings. What do you want?
Kraliyet garsonu sen misin?
You must be Franta Cooldown.
I am. And who might you be?
I'm Henry. I heard you're supposed to serve at the City Council Assembly.
I am. What's it to you?
İşi ben yapacağım. Ben daha iyi bir iş çıkarabilirim. İşi ben
Suppose
yapacağım.
I took the job on for you. You can put your feet up, fill your belly, and I'll do all the work for you.
Look here. It's not like I'm all that keen on it, but it's well paid. Apart from that, it's a bit of a pain in the arse. Them councillors stuffing their faces and guzzling wine, while I run around like a bugger with pitchers so they don't run dry. Why would you want to stick your nose in there?
Kral için önemli haberler getirdim. Kralı kendi gözlerimle görmek istiyorum. O konuyu merak etme, ne kadar istiyorsun?
I want to see the king in the flesh.
Why is that?
See, I heard talk in this alehouse that King Sigismund has been in Hungary the whole time. And he sent a double here in his place.
What are you blabbering about?
No, really. It makes sense.
Look here. Either you came down in the last shower, or you're trying to make a fool out of me. I won't fall for that.
Kral için önemli haberler getirdim.
I just have to get in there, understand? I have an important message for the king about a plot against him.
But why would you want to get to him as a...
But it could be that someone from the council is mixed up in it. So I have to be incognito.
Çok saçma
See?
ya.
I see.
Ne?
All right, then. To begin with, you'll need confirmation that you've worked as a waiter at the council and you're capable of serving even His Majesty. Look here. Do you have any idea what's expected of you? Can you tell different wines apart and that?
Evet veya hayır. Evet.
Of course. Who do you take me for?
All right. No need to get upset. Show the confirmation to the head butler. Tell him I sent you and think up some good excuse. Clear?
That makes sense.
And you'll need a waiter's livery. I had a brand new one made. Here it is. I look like a prick in it. Hopefully it'll sit better on you. The main thing is, don't lose it before the assembly or get it covered in shit.
Thanks. I won't disgrace you, I promise.
You better not. Farewell, my friend.
Harika. Bir de gidip belge alacağız şimdi. Kıyafeti bize ver de.
Come and take a look.
Not your day, eh?
Buralarda bir yerler olması lazım. Furduş Come. Bu turnuvayı düzenleyen adam bu arada. Haydi kilidi aç diyor. Ben yeni kraliyet garsonuyum.
Franta Cooldown sent me. I'm to stand in for him at the council assembly.
Franta's not coming. What's wrong with him?
Hasta, yaralı, sarhoş kilisede dua ediyor. Hamamda. Sarhoş diyeceğim.
He got as drunk as a lord. Totally pie-faced. Then he fell into a ditch, and now he's staggering around the streets, God knows where.
I might have expected. Once, he turned up with a hangover, and as soon as he smelt wine, he threw up all over the chapel door. I told him if that ever happened again, he was for the boot. Oh, well, you'll have to take his place for today. I've no time to find someone else. We can't be without a waiter here, when the king himself will need waiting on. So, let's have a look at you. Have you got Franta's certificate?
Sure. Here it is.
Everything's in order.
Now, about your livery. You know a good waiter by his properly seated cap, and you don't have one at all. Without a tunic, you're no royal waiter, just a common alehouse boy. And have you forgotten your hose? I can't let you into the chamber. You can put your steel aside in front of the council chamber, along with your other stuff. You won't be needing it anyway. You don't want to be dragging a load if you're running around tables. The royal waiter's livery has strict rules. So get changed quick and come back on time.
Kıyafet değişmemi istiyor ya. Var mı buradaki değiştirebileceğim bir yer? Kılıcı çıkardım. Bana verdiği kıyafetleri giyeceğim. Kraliyet soylu şapkası. Kraliyet garsonu ceketi. Kraliyet garsonu pantolonu. Bu kadar. Ekstra bıçak falan yanımıza taşımayacağız galiba. Aynen. Sevgili vekil Erç. Döndüm.
Here I am.
Let's have a look at you then.
Bak bakalım
You've
bir.
got a waiter's cap, a tunic you have. Hose are good. You can put your steel aside in front of the council chamber, along with your other stuff. You won't be needing it anyway. You don't want to be dragging a load if you're running around tables. Everything as it should be. Glad to see it, lad. Do you know what your duties are? For an inexperienced greenhorn like you, it'll be a great responsibility.
Öğrenmekten mutluluk duyarım.
Well, I'll happily listen to any advice. I wouldn't want to foul things up.
I should certainly hope not. Now listen. A good waiter should stand in a corner, look willing and ready, and not get in anyone's way. In short, behave as if you're not there. But when one of the gentlemen calls for wine, you run and pour it for him on the double. You'll find the pitchers on a table by the door to the chapel. You take one and go to their table and pour for them. White Tokaib or red monastery wine.
White or red by the door to the chapel. Got it.
But for Councillor Adam of Zarzhitz, you must not pour at all. When he drinks, he disrupts and makes trouble. So the assembly has to be interrupted, or otherwise it never reaches an end. We can't allow that to happen in the presence of the king.
All right. Sir Adam of Zarzhitz stays dry.
And if the king himself wants wine, you pour for him with lowered eyes. Don't look at him. And the most important thing?
Kimseye yanlış ilişki verme. Geri planda kal.
To stay in the background and keep quiet until someone asks me something.
Correct. The councillors have a lot to discuss, and they certainly don't need any interruptions. And in general, a good waiter has to be invisible, blind, and deaf.
Oh? I thought I had to keep my ears pricked.
Well, yes, but only to what anyone wants from you. No excuses, and provide everything that anyone wants from you. Understood?
Absolutely. I'm a waiter after all, not some street gossip monger.
Correct. And if you manage not to botch it up, you can even rise on the social ladder. Not just anyone can serve the King of Hungary, but you'll manage it. Right?
İhtiyacım olanları öğrendim. Kent konseyinin toplantısını bekle. Biraz daha süre ihtiyacım var. Ne yapmam gerektiğini tekrar anlat.
I
Bekleyin.
know everything I need to. I can do it.
Excellent. Put away your things here. It's easier to serve with a lighter load. You can wait in the cubbyhole for the servants.
Gutenberg Kent Konseyi sabahı. Hadi bakalım. İnşallah.
The city reserves are in urgent need of new weapons. Unverzüglich. Our current Waffenarsenal is a joke, and on top of that, the army was requisitioning from it.
some Hikaye.
Should the town reserve have worse weapons than any Räuber in the domain?
What are you getting at, Eldris?
I'm saying that the bandits who freed Hinnick, the Dry Devil, used that thing. That Hacken...
Are you deaf or something? Why?
Hand cannon.
White.
Can you believe it?
Polner. Polner.
Where did they get them?
You're the one who should know where they got them. Since you're a gunsmith.
Polner hanginiz?
What are you implying, Friedrich? All I'm saying is that
Boy,
they had them.
are you deaf or
Herrgott.
something? Why?
It is eine Schande when outlaws have better weapons than the city garrison.
Sir?
And Herr König surely knows this too.
Thank you, waiter.
What is it, Eldris? You smell a deal?
What I smell is that your stubborn heads do not realize what Schwierigkeit
Gerçekten garsonluk yapıyoruz ya.
The Dry Devil is running free. There are Raubricker everywhere in the region. We have the army bearing down, and you want to defend yourselves with a few rusty halberds.
And who is it you want to fight? Exactly.
I fancy some
The
Tokai.
merciful King
Refill,
Sigismund
boy.
is providing
Sana hiçbir şey yok hocam.
Isn't he?
Der König and
Bana
his
yasak
army
hangi şartta
will
istediniz
not
efendim?
be
I
here
apologize,
forever.
Which
Shut
one?
up!
Tokai.
The king can
That's
arrive
the
at any
white.
moment. What if he heard you?
What then? We're sitting atop the biggest silver heap in the kingdom, and we're supposed to defend it with brooms?
You're right, Eldris. But where can we get the coin for better equipment?
We can always confiscate the property of the king's enemies.
Hey, where's my
Nicht
white?
wahr?
We are more than
That's
familiar
not a good
with the
idea, sir.
Yemeni
This is
state of our
unbelievable.
armory. And the king is surely aware of it as well. Maybe if he waived some
Vali
of the taxes.
lan.
The king fears that this town will rise against him. He'll take the arming of the city's militia as a preparation for war.
Pour me red wine.
So you suggest we just wait with arms crossed for
Hemen
the
beyefendi.
Raubricker to wreak havoc all around?
We can always ask the king to bring order to the realm with his army.
Kim
But
istedi
then
ya?
the Dörfler will rise up.
Monastery
I'm
wine
afraid I
here.
see no solution of the current situation. We shall wait and see what His Majesty thinks
Sir?
about the matter. Maybe we can change his mind. Vielleicht?
Well, thank the Lord.
I'd like to report to the Honorable Council on the cleanliness of the city and the state of the public baths.
You mean
Hey,
baths
waiter.
or brothels?
Pour me some monastery wine.
Lan sana hiçbir şey yok. Yasak.
I'm sorry, sir. Orders from
So,
above.
the
This is
cleanliness of the
unbelievable.
city is not what it should be.
Come
The
here.
current baths in the city fall far short of covering all the citizens' needs.
More wine,
Right,
Master
Jerome.
Bailiff.
I have
But a
enough
woman named
wine.
Betty has showed
Come
up on
closer.
Hopbrink and wants to repair the baths that used to
Careful.
be there.
Çık oğlum.
She's a protege of Maresh.
Buyurun valim.
Her,
I need something from you. There is an item in my study that I confiscated from a female thief. She thought she could wriggle out of it by telling me who the item belongs to.
And what is it?
A silver goblet. She sneaked into Sir Ulrich's house and stole it. No one's noticed the theft yet. But if Ulrich finds out, he'll turn the city upside down to find the culprit. Go and get it. And don't you make a mess there, understand?
Parayı nerede bulabilirim?
Where can I find this goblet?
Use your eyes and come right back with it, understood?
To the baths is neither a civic duty nor a
sorry.
right.
have you forgotten the Black Death? A great many people died needlessly.
Are you questioning God's plan? The Black Death had nothing to do with the baths.
Nice.
Unless the Lord
Use
wishes
silver,
to
might this
punish
be?
the wickedness that's going on in there.
Keeping the city clean.
So, did you find it?
I did, Master Bailiff.
Who is going to wash
Here it is.
Not so loud. Show it here. That's it. And now go back to your job.
Not at all. If you'd finally admit that it's a trifle, we wouldn't have to keep coming back to it.
A trifle? Do you ever walk the streets here? Sewage, rats, slop, and rubbish. The least we can do for the citizens is to provide them with a place to wash up.
What nonsense! Next, you'll want me to serve wine to everyone for free, too.
Why not? In Jerome Nars's earthly paradise, everything would be free.
Don't put words in my mouth.
Gentlemen, let's agree to disagree. What if the king heard us?
I got word that Rutard has pulled off another deed.
That's nothing unusual. That old weasel will never accept that the city isn't run his way. At least until His Majesty honors us with his visit. And as we know, Kunslin absolutely hates him.
He can hate all he wants, as long as he does no damage.
Kim istedi ya yine?
What have you got to say about it?
Me? Well, I'm not sure what you're implying.
Kim istedi?
I'm speaking about the Rutard
where's my
incident.
white?
You were
Eldris.
there, weren't you?
Oh, that.
Beyefendi alın.
Just a small misunderstanding. We've sorted it out.
Yüzüm içine bakmayın.
Thank the Lord.
My ears must be deceiving me. Are you defending Rutard? Besides, if his men attacked yours, as I've heard, then we have a good reason to punish him.
What happened there? Leave nothing out?
I don't like Ruthard, true, but in this case it really was nothing.
Everyone in the city gossiped about it.
Hancı var burada.
I heard there were several dead.
for the
Did you? That's grossly exaggerated.
Sir?
I don't think Ruthard will cause any trouble.
Thank
he
you,
is
waiter.
sensible enough not to draw attention to himself while the king is here.
That's true. Because if we don't do something about him, the king himself will put an end to him, and so...
Hey, waiter. Pour
Unless
me
he
some
puts an
Takar.
end to us first.
Allah'ım oğlum konuşmayı dinleyemiyorum sizin yüzünüzden. Sürekli bir şey içiyorsunuz ya.
There's no point in dwelling on it. Let's move on.
I'm sorry, Andreas, but I wouldn't brush it off so quickly. Why do I have
Well,
the feeling
thank
you're
you.
not telling us the whole truth, Ulrich?
Are you accusing me of lying?
Those are strong words, my friend. Nobody said anything like that, did they?
Then why doesn't he tell us what really happened?
I'm not keeping anything from you, but there's little truth to the rumors circulating around the town. Yes, Ruthard and I had a little disagreement, but we ended it quickly because his daughter wanted to get involved. I didn't want to expose the girl to any unpleasant sights.
So Ruthard is hiding behind his own daughter's skirts.
As if it wasn't enough that he sent his son to die defending the city.
All right. If we really don't have anything new to say, let's turn the page.
Things have got out of order in the town. Some adventurers decided to take the law into their own hands and restore the tradition of duels. It's not only barbaric, but also illegal. If we tolerate this, the rabble in the city will go wild and do whatever they want. I suspect the gentleman from the city's sword-fighting school brought this
Waiter,
custom
get
to
me
us.
white.
It's now run by
Ağzına
the
sıçarım
German
babak.
Menhard. Who knows who that fellow is?
Don't be ridiculous, Forsucker. You act like you've never been in a fight yourself. And to accuse a swordsmaster...
Are they only
Never
just
shred of
pressing
proof.
the grapes for that
What about
Tokai?
some old fishwives
I
on
apologise,
the
sir.
marketplace?
Which
So
one?
you will just leave it
Tokai!
be?
That's the
Cruel
white!
offences are
Tamam
punished by
veriyorum.
the bailiff. And that's that. There are more pressing matters to deal with.
More pressing than the open contempt of the whole town garrison. The guards are apparently settling a
Boş mu acaba Tokai falan?
Will soon be the laughing stock of the whole town.
Are they only just pressing the grapes for that Tokai?
All day long.
Abi Tokai boş mu ya? Bitti mi acaba?
My words exactly. The town council is squabbling constantly at the Emperor Charles, and no one
You
is
can
left
shove that
unscathed.
damn pitcher.
And you, a councillor, let people throw dirt on our work?
If I threw out everyone who complains over a beer, I'd soon be out of customers.
Hey,
hell with it.
boy!
We'll never get anywhere like this.
Franz nerede Franz?
Time.
Kim sesleniyor ya? Heh.
What can I help you with, sir?
I left my gloves in the chapel. I took them off to pray, but then I rushed here and forgot to take them. I can't just get up and walk out now, but if you disappear for a little while...
Tamam.
All right. I'll get them.
I knew I could count on you. While you're at it, count how many figures on the mural have wings.
But why?
Because I'm bored, and because I told you. Get on with it.
Şerefsiz. Şimdi bu boş. Bitti mi acaba beyaz şarap ya? Ulan gerizekalı.
That was easy enough. And he wanted me to count the winged figures.
Bir, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, oğlum çok var lan. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 mi? Allah Allah. Vay bunun da kanadı var 16. Daha bu da var 17. Kesin atladığımız da vardır.
So, let's see.
I found your glove.
Really? Let's see them. And did you count those winged figures?
Vallahi 24, 17, 32 vakit yoktu. 24 tane var.
I counted 24, sir.
And you counted correct. Good. Here you are.
Ne
So
veriyorsun?
you can have a bit of fun in the evening too.
Para veriyor,
eh?
para.
There's the eternal dispute over the cathedrals. The building of the church is dragging on, and in the meantime, they are calling diocesan pilgrimages to settlers. Right under our
You there,
noses.
lad.
It's just a
A cup
village
of
with a
bread.
monastery. And
don't
they are going
you
to mock
spit
our oil
on
mine.
me.
Why can't we build faster? Hire more craftsmen, start with night shifts.
Haven't you noticed there's a war going on? Are the experts from
Monastery
far off
wine.
supposed to work
Here.
in the city under siege?
Besides, I get the feeling there's something other than the welfare of the city
About
behind
time.
your complaints.
Oh, you do? Do you? And what would that be?
Like, for instance, that you'd like to have your own altar there?
So what if I would?
Hold your horses, gentlemen. That space in the side nave is mine.
Then hell freezes over, my friend. Your place is at least 2 steps behind mine.
Why?
A
I'd like
swordsmith
them right.
dares to insult me?
Bakalım biraz şeref var mı?
I think
Kalmadıysa ne yapacaksın?
Excuse me? You wanted to buy yourself an altar in the cathedral, just like you bought yourself a seat in this council.
How dare you?
Why?
I acquired
Dead
my
for
seat
something?
for the services
Fine.
our
Right.
guild provided and still provides to the crown.
Nerede oğlum bu adam?
I hope you're not supplying equipment to the army. If that's all they have, they would be defeated by that bunch of ne'er-do-wells from the alehouse on Opring.
What ne'er-do-wells?
Those wrestlers of theirs, of course. People from the whole town go to watch them brawl.
Oh, this is news to me.
Because it has all been sorted out.
Hey, waiter,
Not
pour
long
me some
ago,
Hikaye.
the guards raided and threw them all out.
Ah, yes, I had forgotten. What do we have to
Andrew
discuss
hangisiniz?
next?
Abi yerlerini öğrenip... Ha.
Sir?
Ya hangi adam ses çıkar onu da göremiyorum ki. Ha, kral geliyor galiba. Gelmedi kral. Sigismund. Ne zaman gelecek acaba bu arada?
I'm telling you, something is being planned.
Oh, I doubt it. No one's gonna tackle Rootard.
Eyvah. Eyvah. Allah bizi tanır o bizi tanır. Hayır ya. Yalnız adam bizi tanıyacak ha. Ben size diyeyim. Şövalye bizi tanıyacak. Tanıdı gerçekten.
You have nothing to fear. Not you.
Ben diğerlerine kızacağım. Senin hiç korkacak bir şeyin yok diyor.
Unlike this band of fools!
Klasik yönetici ya. O sırada Raboş Kalesi'nde. Çok kötü ya. Adam bizi gördü. Ne yapacak bize bilmiyorum. Aa. Wenceslas'ın Toplantısına şey gelmiş. Fark ettiniz mi? Rutart.
Come now, Father. Put a little life into your dying. Seen more cheerful priests at funerals.
I'd rather be at one than here. I hoped I'd never see this fortress again in my life.
Unpleasant memories?
You have no idea. I didn't part ways with my father on entirely good terms. 20 years ago.
And now you're 2 decades older and wiser. At your Ujit's parish, you spread the word of God to your flock, and you saved my neck and Henry's too. I'd say your father should be proud of you.
None of that matters a damn to him.
Who knows? Maybe that 20 years has changed a thing or two.
You know what? Let's drop the subject.
Konuklardan hiç tanıdığın var mı? Fransız adam kim? Özgür olmak nasıl bir his? Şimdi ne yapacaksın? Şimdi ne yapacaksın?
What do you plan to do now you're a free man again?
What do you think? Get drunk, woo one of the local wenches, and wake up in the morning with no hose and a head like a church bell.
Have you perchance forgotten we're supposed to be deciding the future of the kingdom here?
I'll leave that to the older and wiser. And duller.
Konuklarda hiç tanıdığın var mı? Özgür olmak nasıl bir his?
Do you know any of the guests here?
Most of them I'm seeing for the first time in my life. It's a pretty varied company. We've had bandits, nobles, burghers, a priest, and even a rabbi coming together here. It's like the start of some joke.
Wait a moment. Rabbi, you say? The Gutenberg rabbi?
Yeah. He came with a retinue. But for now, they're keeping mostly to themselves. Maybe you should go and welcome some of them. After all, this used to be your home. And you're a spiritual man too, so you should have something in common.
I wouldn't be too sure. But I suppose I can try.
Fransız adam kim ya?
Who's that French fellow you brought here from Malachov?
The great Baron Brabant. Been everywhere, knows everything, and has the keys to half the kingdom. He's got more fairy tales than my old nanny.
Can he be trusted?
He's a blabbermouth, but a harmless one. Besides, he defended Kuttenberg, and you know how that went. If he were on Sigismund's side, he'd hardly have been locked up with me.
Pekala. Bu adamla konuşmamız gerekiyormuş.
I'd rather creep off into some corner with a full wineskin. But I suppose I'll have to introduce myself to the rest of the guests. Eh?
Indeed you should. After all, you are one of the lords of Rabosh.
Oh, don't start with that. I'd like to steer clear of the old man as long as I can.
In that case, you should sound out Radzig and Hanush and find out what they're actually planning.
Ham ve refakatçisi ile konuş. Brabant ile tanış. Bir Brabant'la bir tanışalım hele. Sen necisin?
Good health to you, sir. I'm Godwin, a friend of that lad you arrived with, Henry. We don't know each other.
Baron Vauquelin Brabant, Chevalier d'Arezzo. The last of my line. I am a warrior, a traveler, a strategist, and also, à ma manière, a poet.
My word. Isn't that exhausting?
Mais non! And I'm glad to meet a new friend.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Baron. I knew right away we'd hit it off.
Malachof'a yolunuz nasıl düştü? Güzel soru. Şair olduğunuzu söylemiştiniz değil mi? Nerelere gittiniz? Nasıl oldu da sizi hiç duymadık? Malachof'a yolunuz nasıl düştü diyelim?
How did you end up imprisoned in Malachov?
Ah, c'est une histoire compliquée. It was after I heroically led the defense of Gutenberg, and only lost it narrowly by an unfortunate turn of events.
That needs some explanation. What unfortunate turn of events?
Oh, misère. It is clear you have never been to war.
Aslına bakarsanız katıldım.
You're quite mistaken, Monsieur Baron. I have.
Ah, je suis désolé. This Bohemia is a strange land. I have seen farmhands, children, and even women fighting. But the clergy? Sainte Mère, do tell me about it. No doubt you fought on the side of truth and honor.
Nabokov'da savaştım. Kosova Savaş Meydanı'nda savaştım. Hadi Kosova Savaş Meydanı
My
diyelim.
last big battle was in Kosovo.
I've heard of this battle. Many great men fell there.
Aye. And it was there I decided it was nothing for me. So I settled down in the presbytery in Ujits.
Then, what are you doing here at a meeting of opponents of the crown?
Ah, the Lord moves in mysterious ways.
Pekala, nerelere gittiniz? Bodum yalanlarını ortaya çıkarmamız lazım varsa tabii.
Have you seen the ocean?
But of course! I was born by the sea. If you are interested in my greatest journeys, then I have traveled with a merchant caravan all the way to the Ottoman Empire. And if you are interested in my greatest deed, then that was perhaps saving the life of the King of France.
And you wouldn't by any chance know the Pope, personally?
Which one do you mean? I spoke briefly with Boniface IX when I was sojourning in Rome. A pleasant fellow.
Allah Allah, adam fire vermedi hala. Nasıl oldu da sizi hiç duymadık? Harbiden nasıl oldu da sizi duymadık?
How come almost nobody here knows you?
I am operating, as they say. Incognito. My great benefit is my strong connection with the French court. There, everyone knows my name. Here in Bohemia, I'm still building my reputation, slowly but surely.
You say you're a poet. How about a verse or two to amuse us?
Jamais. Is poetry nothing but a fuss to you? Is a poet a gesture for amusement? I think not. To recite, I require the proper mood. And besides, few here would understand me.
Pekala. Aşırı haklı. Yalnız orada yatak gözükmesi biraz garip. Yatağın olması da garip. Kimle tanışacağız? Haham'la mı? Aa evet. Samuel ve Haham.
Such rare guests. One wouldn't expect to find among Christians representatives of your community. I'm Godwin. My greetings to you.
Peace be with you. Neither would one expect a priest here. And yet...
How do you know I'm a priest?
It's not difficult to tell. After all, we have much in common. And we are both a little on unfamiliar ground here. I'm Yehuda, leader of the rabbinical court in the sacred community of Gutenberg. And this is Samuel, my aide.
Who would rather not be here at all. Why did we have to come here, Sadie? Can you not see everyone is staring at us?
Because we all need to help each other in this time of need. And why would they not stare when you are frowning so?
Buraya iş için mi geldiniz, yoksa ödemek mi istiyorsunuz? Daha iyi şartlar için pazarlık mı yapıyorsunuz? Buraya niçin geldiniz ya?
Are you here to arrange some trade?
We have more serious matters to attend to here than gaining a few groschen. The situation in the town and the king, you have men and weapons. We have the means to sustain.
Why are you telling this to a Koimer? You wanted to deliver what we brought to the Margrave and quickly leave.
Everything in good time, Samuel. We have just arrived, after all.
Did you come to lend money to the Lord?
Not to lend, but to give. Help given to the needy is repaid only by God.
You don't even know if you can trust them. With that money, we could have paid mercenaries ourselves.
You remind me of my young friend Henry. He's a bit of a hothead too.
Henry? That messenger of Radzik Copula?
You know each other.
That would be him. We did not get off to a very good start.
Hatasız kullanmaz o zaman. Ya da umarım ki yakında birbirinizi daha iyi tanıyacaksınız.
He should be coming here later, by the way. For a young stripling, he's been through plenty. It's not so long since his parents were killed in Skalitz. He was supposed to become a blacksmith, and instead, he's roaming the world, risking his neck at every turn.
Wait, a blacksmith, you say? From Skalitz?
Aye, that's right. Did you know anyone there?
I knew of someone. A blacksmith by the name of Martin.
My daughter knew him most. And that is why Samuel is in this world, for our numerous sins.
Maybe he was my father, but he certainly didn't act like one. Ma raised me on her own.
And that was all for the best.
Why? He should have taken care of me, but instead he fathered another bastard.
Don't make hasty judgments. As far as I know, Martin didn't have any other children. At least, none of his own. He took in Henry and raised him as his own on the orders of the Lord of Skalitz, Sir Radzik Kobila, Henry's real father.
I don't care if he took care of 20 other mamsas.
That boy's blood father denied him, just like yours did to you.
A person can't choose their parents. And Henry only found out about it recently.
Enough. I'd rather have a drink. Will you have one too, Zayde?
For that,
Samuel'in-
there will be more suitable times.
Aa, çok ilginç. Ben içmesem daha iyi.
Excuse me. I'd better not drink.
Better communion wine than kosher, is it?
Bakalım neler olacak. Bir de Wenceslas yok tabii ki de. Kim liderlik edecek buraya?
Dear friends and allies, in these troublesome times, you all know why we're here. The question remains, what to do next? Sigismund is facing troubles in Hungary, and here too he is up against resistance. He's a capable strategist, but a poor diplomat. Mark my words. If we wait him out until winter, he will leave of his own accord.
By winter, he'll have torched all our fortresses and carried off everything that we possess. Are we seriously gonna wait and cower in a corner? Or are we gonna drive them out in shame? A few well-planned raids and we could have him in our fists!
At what price? Have you got men to spare? Has any of you got men and money to spare?
We don't have men out there.
Yes, we do.
We do not.
Jobst is right. That whole sun won't fall easily.
Only we can't wait.
Are we to get ourselves killed?
Or end with nothing?
I'm not going to die.
Friends, we'll get nowhere like this. Let's adjourn ourselves and try to think it through.
Well,
Ay, ay.
that went just as expected. Good health.
And to yours. Could it have gone any other way when there's so many of us here?
I would have expected a bit more sense from Jobst, of all people. He made an amateur's mistake. But it's hard to be angry with him when he's trying to ingratiate himself with everyone. By the way, I'm John of Liechtenstein. And you must be Godwin, the son of...
That's not a thing I've ever boasted of. How do you know that?
I have my sources. From what I've heard about you, I'd judge you could be quite useful to me at today's gathering.
Is that so?
Indeed. And that's why I'd like to ask something of you.
It depends what it's all about.
A little delicate diplomacy. I expect we can agree that Jobst's plan has certain shortcomings.
That's a weak word.
And the way it stands at the moment, he'll never get the support of the council. But I have an idea how to change that.
Well, I'm curious how you hope to shut Zizka up and satisfy the ones who want peace.
We'll sit and wait quietly until Sigismund withdraws of his own volition, as Jobst proposes, but we'll be waiting in the military camp of our huge new army.
Kendi yeni devasa ordumuzun Askeri kampında bekleyeceğiz. Sigismund korkacak. Kışkırtsak ne olur?
If Sigismund decides to mount an attack on the camp, it'd be a massacre.
Ah, but it won't. Sigismund's army is demoralized and weakened. And besides, he's running out of resources. He's able to tackle fortresses that aren't able to defend themselves, but he won't engage an equal force on the battlefield.
But he can't retreat either. That would be a disgrace.
And that's exactly why we'll wait until he's called back to Hungary by events there. For the plan to work, we need allies, their money and their determination. We've already set the ground for it. We just need negotiators who will push the right people in the right direction.
Are you saying you set everything in motion even before Jobst?
More like in parallel, but without his knowledge. If we find support and make it look like the whole thing was his idea, we'll all win.
You've got an interesting way of approaching things.
You're certainly not the first to tell me that. I take it as a compliment.
Why are you doing all this anyway?
Because I want to put a stop to the senseless deaths, and also because I'm happier with Wenceslas on the Bohemian throne.
I'll help you. What exactly should I do?
I'll give you 3 names. Bocek of Kunstadt, Haman Alder, and Anna of Waldstein. If you can get those 3 on our side, we've won the day. Meanwhile, I'll take care of Jobst.
Tell me a bit more about those people, so I know who I'm dealing with.
Certainly. Who do you want to start with?
Bocek of Kunstadt. I know the name, but I can't quite place him.
That's just the thing. He's got massive estates, great influence, but he holds back. He doesn't play the big game, because he doesn't like to take risks. He always goes for the sure thing. But once he's made his mind up, not even a pair of oxen will hold him back.
Pekala. Bu adam böyle biri. Haman Alder.
Older the alderman. Wasn't he a Kuttenberg councillor?
He still is. The only one who retained his position after the city was taken. Only he's here, instead of cozying up with Sigismund in Kuttenberg. So his days in the council are numbered. But he'll continue to have a strong influence on the guilds and the rich burghers. And that's why we need him.
Anna of Waldstein. The widow of that rich mine owner. What was his name?
Wenzel Bartosz. And I'm not surprised you forgot.
I was quite surprised to see her here. Assemblies like this are more of a...
A male affair? So far, Godwin, so far. Anna is holding back and behaving like an exemplary young widow. But don't trust appearances. She's got claws, she knows how to do her sums, and she certainly has no love lost for Sigismund.
And what use can she be to us? Apart from her late husband's money, of course.
She's as sharp as they come when it comes to trade. And she knows there are wicked tongues that claim Bartosz acquired most of his wealth thanks to her. And that it was
Peki işe yaramazsa neden ben halledeceğim? Neden ben?
Why me, of all people?
Because you've got a head on your shoulders. You know how to talk, and you're not just out for your own good. You and your friend Henry are similar in that respect. That's why I know I can count on you both. There aren't many like you two left.
I'll get on it then. Wish me luck.
I wish us both luck. Before the day is over, the die will be cast.
Hadi içerim seni.
Success to our plans.
Ne kadar resmi içtik öyle.
I'll tell you, nobody has the likes of these.
Not even Bocek?
Not even Bot.
I'd like to check your horses out and see if they're as good as you say.
Pa, even better. But you won't believe it until you see for...
And you might not believe your eyes when you do see them. Well, well, we have a new guest.
I wanted to...
You wanted to apologize for crashing into my home without it by your leave. Or to arrest my guests some more?
I want to have a word with Older.
Well, I'm having a word with you.
I'll talk to you later, Father. This
Aa
is
babası.
You're in my home, so you'll talk to me first. What is it you want?
Is that your...
Unfortunately. Speak up then. What are you
Babasıymış.
doing here?
Bir elçi olarak geldim, tartışmayı sonraya bırakalım, seni hiç ilgilendirmez.
I came with a delegation from Sir Hanush of Lipa.
Is this a joke?
Why so strict, Martin?
20 years ago, he was nothing but a cheeky brat, only interested in wenches and booze. I got him a place at the Archbishopric to have some sense beaten into his head. Only it wasn't long before they kicked him out. And then I find out he's settled in some backwater parish in Sassau. But he took his boozing and whoring along with him, lost everything, and then came creeping home again. Huh?
Try saying it again a little louder. They might not have heard you in the outer courtyard.
You have the impertinence to show me your face after the way you disgraced our whole family?
Abartıyorsun her zamanki gibi. Seçeneğim olsaydı buraya adım atmazdım.
I wouldn't set foot here if I had a choice. Better to be a priest in some backwater than have a father like you.
How dare you?
You're as shit a father as I am a son. We've got nothing to blame each other for. And now let me speak to Older.
You're dishonoring your host.
I can't dishonor someone who has no honor. If you had any, you'd be...
That's enough.
Christopher.
You won't get away with those insults. I challenge you to a duel.
Kardeşimiz falan mı bu acaba? Bizim soyadımız Oder'in ya çünkü. Christopher Oder'in. Hadi kabul ediyorum.
I'm not happy about it, but I accept. This isn't how I imagined my first meeting with my brother.
Make room for us. We'll just settle a very private matter. It's an honorable duel, man against man. Stay back. Wanker!
What's wrong with your legs?
Allah Allah.
You don't know which end of that thing is off.
Sacre! You're fast. Hey! Who told you that?
Arm lower.
Did they teach you that in the seminary? Sacre! You're fast. Did they teach you that in the seminary?
Cover your right side.
That was sneaky.
You've got a gap there I could drive a cart through. Swing with your whole arm, not just your wrist.
That will do. G'day, g'day.
Ağzımız boşum, yüzümüz boşuna kanadı.
Oh God. Where did you learn to wield a sword like that? Father always said you were a good-for-nothing boozer. But you could teach sword fighting in a school.
Ağzım yüzümüz kan oldu senin yüzünden. Kırsalda hayat zordur abi.
You know how it is. The countryside is tough. It's dog eat dog. And you ought to know yourself. Not all the faults that Father sees are real.
Well, I apologize for going off like that. I had to, so that...
So Father would be satisfied. Only he'll never be satisfied. The sooner you realize...
I thought he was the way he was because his first son let him down. And he hoped that...
Hep böyleydi.
Not at all. I remember him the same since I was a nipper. When I was 6 years old, I fell off a horse and broke my leg. He wouldn't talk to me for a week.
The first time he took me hunting, he let me starve for 3 days until I was able to...
Only 3 days. He got soft.
I always wondered who you were.
Look, I really did fuck up everything I could. I brawled and boozed until they threw me out of my own parish. But now, I have a chance to put things to rights a little.
And that's why you want to talk to Alder?
I've got to get him on our side and to cooperate with us.
Aren't we all on the same side?
Maybe everyone's saying that. But it's time to put it into action.
After your encounter with Father, it won't be easy to get to Alder. Actually, I don't think you should even attempt it. Unless you want to anger Father even more.
What else can I do, though?
I'll talk to him myself. He'll hear me out for sure. But you'll have to trust me. And tell me what it's all about.
All right, then. You've heard Yob's plan, right? It's a nice idea, but we can't wait around without an army to back us up.
Only no one's going to pay for one, because that would be an outright admission of rebelling against Sigismund.
Alder's got some clout with the councillors and burghers who are loyal to Sigismund. If he agrees, they'll follow.
I expect Alder's not the only one you're after.
You got that right.
Leave Alder to me. The plan sounds sensible, and he's no fool.
I don't know how to thank you.
You can drag me to a tavern sometime. Pa doesn't need to know about it.
You're starting to sound like a brother.
İyi bari en azından şey yaptık. Tekrar giyindik. Evet, ziyafete bak be.
Mind where you're going.
Burası neresi acaba bu arada? Haritada var mı burası? Raboş, Grun, şeytanını Suktol. Ha, Raboş burasıymış. Raboş'ta sevilmiyoruz. Neden? Çünkü babamızdan dolayı. Ablacım, zamanı mı acaba burası şu an? Lordlar var burada. Tanuş var, Rozik var. Bir sürü kişiyle konuşacağız, o yüzden şu an onlarla konuşmuyorum. Yukarıdalar galiba. Ha, Boşçak burada işte.
Sir Bochek, I need to speak with you.
A man hardly puts his cup to his lips and someone comes along to put a... Yobs comes up with a plan as full of holes as a beggar's shoes, and now you're all jostling to win me over for him.
On the contrary, I've come here with an idea how to improve it.
Does that improvement include a few thousand men-at-arms? If not, you can go to the devil with him.
A few thousand men-at-arms as a convincing argument. And 100 horsemen on top. Only in order to get them, we need coin.
You've got my attention, but not my money yet.
How can I persuade you?
I need guarantees of security. I don't want to end up like Rutard.
Of course. Once it comes to protecting property, ideals go out the window.
You can talk, since you haven't got a pot to piss in yourself. If you were in my position, you'd think differently. I have a lot of property, lots of subjects to look after, and along with that, the Lord blessed me with a large family. I can't risk it all in a conflict with Sigismund.
So you need guarantees that you won't be left standing in the cold if you openly oppose Sigismund?
My guarantee is called Yitka. She's my niece. If I succeeded in marrying her off to another strong house, I'll have the certainty that I won't be left alone.
Maybe it's enough to find a suitable groom among the allies.
Perhaps someone of suitable standing who Yitka would also gladly accept. I don't want her to be unhappy.
Pekala, Liechtenstein evli değil. Bana ne dersiniz? Gerçi Lord Capon'a ne dersiniz? Yitka. Liechtenstein mı, Capon mu? Capon olsun.
How about young Lord Capon?
He's a youngster still.
Genç ama deneyimsiz değil. Yitka yaşlı bir adamla evlenmek istemez.
What's wrong with him? He's young, he's handsome, women are fighting over him. Yitka will like him, and he'll give her a whole bunch of children.
And to half the wenches in his domain too, eh? On the other hand, the lords of Lipa have a good reputation, and Hanush can always be relied on despite his temper. Maybe it's not such a bad idea.
Yani planımızı destekleyecek misiniz? Teklifinizi Lord Capon'a ileteceğim.
So, will you support our plan?
You're selling the skin of a boar that's still grunting. First, I want a confirmation that the wedding will take place as soon as possible.
And what if Lord Capon refuses?
I don't care what the young lord thinks. Hanush is the one to decide. If he agrees, I'll be happy to support your plan.
Pushing a friend to tie the knot to save the kingdom. Things have come to a pretty pass.
The kingdom will not forget his sacrifice. Now stop dilly-dallying and go and tell Hanush.
Jitka nerede Jitka? Var mı burada Jitka? Görseydim ben bir kızı ya, belki güzeldir.
Sir Hanush.
Sir
I bring
Hanush.
happy tidings.
You do? Let's hear it then.
Bize bir müttefik kazandırdım.
I've gained us a powerful ally.
And who is it? I hope it's not one of those Kuttenberg stuffed guts.
On the contrary, it's Bocek, the elder of Kunstadt and Podjebrad.
Kunstadt? By Christ, he's the last one I'd have expected to step up. How the hell did you do it?
Kazan kazan durumu bir bit yeniği vardı. Bir bit yeniği var.
Well, there's one little catch. I had to promise him. I don't even know how to begin.
Out with it.
Lord Kunstad has a niece, so I arranged a betrothal for young Lord Capon, with your blessing if you agree.
Hans Capon is to marry Yitka of Kunstadt. Godwin, you conniving old bastard!
Oh, fuck.
I don't believe it. So, young Hans is to marry Kunstadt's daughter?
Niece.
If you're serious, I'll make sure that you get the Rattay parish.
Or you could make me the abbot of Sassa. Or what about a bishopric?
Forget it. Soon I'll be paying for a wedding. Not a word to Hans. I want to tell him myself. But let's drink to it, shall we?
Pekala şerefe.
Cheers!
Cheers to you, and to your parlaying skills.
Pekala. Boşek'in yanına bir daha gidelim bakalım. Boşek. Çözdüm bu olayı ben.
So Bocek, your niece Yitka can start preparing for her wedding.
So Hanush agreed, without reservations.
Indeed.
Then I will fulfill my end of the bargain without reservation.
Thank you, Lord of Kunstad.
Enough formality. We'll have a drink. What do you say?
Teşekkürler, içmeyeceğim. Nişanların şerefine ya.
Cheers to the beautiful Lady Yitka and the unhappy Lord Capon.
Here's to a
Mutsuz
good
demedi
bargain.
ki. Mutlu dedi. Allah Allah. Pekala. Bunu da yaptık. Şimdi şeyi bulmamız lazım. Bir tane de kadın vardı sanırım, değil mi? Görev. Warhorse Anna'dan destek al. Ha, Anna nerede mi? Kocasının vakit ölümüyle tüm duygulara rağmen hem bağımsız, akıllı bir kadın olarak hem de becerikli bir anlaşmacı olarak itibarını koruyor. Becerileri müttefikleri için en az parası kadar faydalı olacak. Pekala, ben Anna'yı nereden bulacağım şimdi? Burada değildir. Anna için ekstra bir şeyden bahsetmemişler. Onu arayacağız bayağı yani kadını. Allah Allah. Nerede çıkabilir ki? Hiç burada olacağını sanmıyorum. Bence bir kadın olsa şu koca binaya verirler. Burada olabilir mi? Doversi Helena, Matilda, Kristalina, Dasha. Başka da kadın görmedim. Gençler çıkın bakayım. Şuraya bir bakalım. Burada kadın yok. Hizmetçi burada. Aşçı burada. Bir kat yukarı daha çıkalım bakalım. Kadın var mı ya? Ha, burada işte.
God be with you, noble lady. There's something I'd like to ask of you.
God be with you. What would that be?
Your diplomatic support. And your money.
Godwin'in
No
direkt konuya
beating around the
giriyorsun.
bush, eh? I like that. But what do you want my money for?
Margrave Yob's plan has some gaps, milady. We need to gather enough resources to...
To muster an army that Margrave can't afford on his own?
Christ. Be praised. You're astute.
I should say so. All sorts of people have their eyes on my money, and divining their intentions is a necessity. Although, between the two of us, it isn't hard to figure out what Liechtenstein is after.
Liechtenstein nereden tanıyorsunuz?
How do you know Liechtenstein's behind it?
I know most of the people here very well. Many of them certainly have doubts about the Margrave's plans. But they wouldn't dream of stating them aloud. While it seems that Lord Liechtenstein, on the contrary, sees his opportunity.
I'd say you have a better nose for people than most of this crowd.
Not only for people, but also for good food and wine. And beneficial deals.
O halde doğru yere geldiniz.
Then you're in the right place. This occasion provides all of those things.
The wine here is average. The cooks lack imagination. And I have yet to hear any interesting offers. So, to the point. What is it that Liechtenstein wants from me?
Nothing more than support and resources for an army to parley more effectively with Sigismund.
Nothing more? I'd say that's plenty. And why ask me for help? Why should I, of all people, take the risk?
Sigismund'un bir kadından intikam almaz. Varlıklarınızın korunması gerekiyor. Paranız var ama aynı zamanda akıllısınız.
It's not only your money we're interested in. You're well able to negotiate and trade. And if you were to take part in our plan...
Then I'd be helpful to you on two fronts. If you want me to support you, you must give me a good reason. Perhaps a favor in return.
Do you have something in particular in mind?
Well, one of the guests here has something that shouldn't get into the wrong hands.
Who's that?
Harmon Alder.
Eyvah.
Now, if you were to switch these papers for the ones he brought with him, I would support your proposal.
Bir dakika. Belgelerde ne yazıyor?
And these papers I'm supposed to switch, what do they concern?
My relatives somehow dug up some trade contracts between myself and certain undesirable parties.
You were dealing with the enemy.
They were not the enemy at the time. My conscience is clear, but I'll rest easier when those papers are in my hands.
And the papers I'm supposed to plant on Alder?
Just insignificant documents. If the incriminating ones disappeared without a trace, it would arouse suspicion.
All right, I'll help you. Or at least I'll give it a try.
Alder will surely have the papers in his saddlebags, which he left in the shed on the outer courtyard. Bring them to me, and put these there instead. But watch yourself. Odorim's groom has eyes everywhere.
Pekala. Ne oyunlar çevirdik yine, görüyor musunuz?
What's that?
Hey, you! What are you doing here? No one's...
Kes sesini hizmetkar, burası benim evim. Varsa ananın işi. Seni bekliyorum günahkar.
I'm waiting here for you.
Oh, how's that?
I've been watching you for a while, and I have a feeling you do well to talk a little. In conspectu Dei.
Who in God's name are you?
In God's name indeed. I'm a priest, and I know a wretched sinner when I see one.
Is it that obvious? Christ above.
Don't blaspheme. It'll help you more to confess.
And in the morning, when I met him, I swore I never laid eyes on his daughter, even though my back was scratched raw from our roll in the hay.
That's a mortal sin. Lying with a woman that you're not joined with in holy matrimony. And then lying about it too. That's already 2 commandments broken for the price of 1.
I'll go to hell for that, won't I?
You won't. As long as you repent. Be contrite, fast and pray. 10 Our Fathers. Ego te absolvo.
I'll start right away. Thank you, Father.
Şaka gibi olanlar. Oldu bakalım bu iş.
I've got those papers from all...
Quiet!
My lady, with all the clamor going on, here they are.
You're more capable than I expected. Thanks for the help.
You're welcome. And now you're part of the bargain.
As agreed. I will support Liechtenstein's proposal with both words and money.
Thank you, noble lady. God will...
Yes, quite. But let's drink to our bargain, Godwin.
Sağlığınıza.
How could I refuse a toast with such a fine lady? To your health, Lady Anna.
And to the success of our efforts.
Çok içtik sanırım. İnşallah yan etkisi olmaz. Yani. Liechtenstein ayarlanan destek hakkında konuşalım. Liechtenstein nerede ki? Ha burada.
Gentlemen, I think we can raise our goblets to the successful conclusion of the negotiations.
Is this supposed to be your secret weapon?
Like I said, miracles happen where you least expect them. Tell me, Godwin of the House of Odorin, what news do you bring us?
I bring nothing from the House of Odorin. But the widow of Waldstein and Sir Bocek of Kunstadt will support our cause.
Both of them. Good heavens, what did you promise them?
This is going to be a long story, and I could use a drink. So if you'll excuse me, my lords?
It would seem that we have all benefited from the break in these proceedings. New alliances have been formed. And I have also changed my plans. We shall still wait for Sigismund to withdraw his troops of his own accord. But we will wait with an army at our backs.
Yes! And how are we to raise an army? Wasn't it made clear at the meeting that no one wants to take the risk?
The only thing made clear was that each of us alone is weak, and that we could not find common ground. But that has now changed.
King Wenceslas is, by the will of God, the balbatim of all his subjects. Not only the Christians, our community, and not only ours, will give you coin.
Yes! The Kuttenberg houses are still loyal to King Wenceslaus, and we stand with Lord Ruthard.
And if that's not enough, the houses of Leipa and Kunstadt will unite and march side by side.
My niece, Yitka, will take young Lord Capon as her husband.
Merak etme, kurtarırız seni Kapon. Kurtarırız seni, hiç merak etme.
Lords Kunstadt, Hanush, Radzig, and I will set out immediately. God willing, we will be back within 3 weeks, along with an army.
Now those are words worthy of a nobleman.
My friend, I still believe that words are more powerful than swords. And our words will ring in 1,000 voices to the glory of King Wenceslas.
Kurtarırız ya kaponu bence. O sırada Gutenberg Belediye binasında. Evet. Allah'ım, Henry çok kötü bir durumda ya, yemin ediyorum. Çok kötü durumda Henry.
After we conquered the city, you promised to restore order immediately. And then I find out things are even more disordered than before.
Your Majesty, we are sorry. We will put it to rights.
You've already said that. I want to hear real solutions.
We will put more guards on the roads and toughen penalties. We can have a few captured bandits executed as an example to others.
Bu adamdan vali
We do not
olmaz.
care about bandits. We care about rebellious nobles and burghers. What will you do with them? How will you solve the chaos in the town administration, the rebellious miners, and the dismal yields? And how is it even possible that a rebellion against the king is smoldering here in the city?
What do you mean, sire?
I hear the resistance is coming from the Jewish quarter.
Haydi.
From right under your noses. Why haven't you done anything?
We don't know who is behind this. Without evidence, we cannot punish them.
Otto von Berghoff did not ask questions in Prague either. He acted. And I advise you to do the same.
Abi von
Find a
Berghoff
couple of
nerede
wretches
acaba?
in a hole somewhere. Point them to the Jewish quarter and give them free rein. To do anything. The city's Jewish community was and still is on Wenceslas' side. They need a warning.
We do not even have enough men to...
Marquardt, could you spare a few men for a while?
Of course, sire. I'll assign them to Eric. He'll take care of it.
So you see, all you have to do is make sure the city rebel get their share. You could at least manage that, couldn't you? And if the thought should cross your minds that you would get rid of the debts to the Jewish moneylenders this way, forget about it. Your debts will remain, up to the last groschen. Only now you owe us directly. And while we are on the subject of money, has the yield from the mines finally matched last year's?
Sire, the deposits are dwindling, and mining is becoming increasingly difficult. And to make matters worse, the miners started rebelling.
Don't take us for a fool. They'll stop rebelling when you pay them proper wages.
Your Majesty, we can't do that.
Silence! How dare you oppose the kingdom's protector? You're a bunch of incompetent sycophants. Chicken shits. Not any better than the scum hiding in the forest.
I apologize, sire. I'll do everything in my power to...
All I hear from you over and over again are excuses and prevarication. And results? None. I therefore placed the city council under the authority of Sir Marquardt von Aulitz, who is present here, with immediate effect. He will make sure you finally do your duty.
But, sire, that would be a violation of the privileges granted to us as a free mining town.
Silence! I am the only guarantor of your rights. You have to earn your privileges, not hide behind them. During my brother's reign, this idleness was perhaps tolerated. But that is over now. You were given a few simple tasks. But instead of working on them, you idled in the baths and lined your pockets. And let the traitors cast their nets undisturbed. But unlike my brother, I am capable of creating order. And I assure you, I do not distinguish between those who stand in my way. Be they beggars, noblemen, or city councillors. You have 2 weeks to restore order in the city and increase mining output. I want clear results, and you answer only to me and Sir Marquardt von Aulitz now.
Marquardt.
No one else.
Eyvah, bana bakıyor. Yo. Evet, bana bakıyor ya.
The council is dismissed. You don't go anywhere, boy. Be so kind and remain here. Our throat has become rather dry.
And we still wish to speak with our friend von Aulitz.
Yes, sire. As you wish, sire.
Between the two of us, Margaret, was I not perhaps too harsh on them? And speak candidly, we have had enough of false flattery.
Sire, you were harsh, but rightfully so. These councils, they need to be shown their place. You suffered their insolence for far too long. And the same is true of the Jews.
We know. Otto repeated to us several times that it is time to strike against them. We are glad he's not here. He would be intolerably self-satisfied if he knew we had heeded him.
Boy, can't you see the king's cup is empty?
You tend to us as if we were infirm. Boy, pour us a monastic wine. The monks had a good year. We have concerns, friend. The Hungarians are rebelling. Our army is falling apart, and we have enemies here on all sides. Would we had a proper army instead of human mercenaries? They cannot be relied upon. And we are no closer to our goal now than a few months ago. Thank you. It is a good year. If our father were still alive, he would have been astonished by the mess that a few years of Wenceslas' reign brought to us. With a single word, he would have put the nobility in their place, and the country would flourish. God grant him eternal glory.
We won't need much more time. We'll arrest the traitor Odorin, and the rest will fall in line.
You say the others will be brought into line, but what do you know of them? We know only a few of them. But there's a fortress standing on every damn hill here. What side are their lords on?
We'll find out soon enough, sire.
If only Wenceslas were not such a stubborn ass, and relinquished that throne that he has no use for anyway. The nobility, on the other hand, found a ruler like him very useful. They made a puppet out of him.
Once you restore order, they'll join you. All you have to do is promise them the privileges they lost during Wenceslas' reign.
First, they'd have to be willing to make peace at least among themselves. Jobst does everything he can to sow chaos, so that he himself emerges victorious in the end. This business makes me thirsty. Pour me some of that red, boy.
I think Jobst is just waiting for the right moment. He'll switch sides when it suits him.
Maybe. But first I'll have to conquer a few more cities, and get a couple more lords on my side. Then they take the threat of war seriously. And Hungary. If Bohemia is a wasp's nest, then Hungary is a viper's lair.
You will follow in his footsteps, sire, as soon as you get the chance.
Acaba beni tanıdı mı ya?
To your health. And to your health too, boy. May your children grow in a land ruled by a good king. You did a good job, waiter. You can be proud of yourself.
To your health, your majesty.
First, we need to crack down on the biggest troublemakers.
We're working on it. While the consul was meeting, Otto von Berghoff and his men set out for
Oha.
Odorin won't give you any more trouble.
He and Ruthard are in it together. Once we get Odorin, we can handle Ruthard easily. Rabosh will be yours. After all, Otto has already got Malishov.
I appreciate your confidence, sire.
But the devil knows there are a lot more strongholds to conquer here.
For the king, red wine, boy.
No, we shall have white. We have had enough of red.
White it is. Quickly! If Rabosh falls, others will follow.
I think von Berghoff's little contraption will find its use again.
If need be, we could use it to raise this town hall too. And I have some suggestions for other candidates.
Not so fast, my friend. It's a wondrous tool, but we can't rely on it forever.
To bring it here to the square and point it at the city hall? Those sycophants would only benefit from a warning like that.
It's a splendid idea, but it won't be necessary. The councillors are quite fearful enough already that they can hide nothing from us.
There's been enough fretting, sire. You shall see. Soon we will drink to the conquest of another fortress.
You are right. So then, to victory. And you, boy, will you drink with us? So that you shall have something to tell your children and grandchildren.
To victory, sire.
To today's, and those of the future.
Akşamın ilerleyen saatlerinde Raboş Kalesi'nde. Eyvah, Raboş'ta savaş olacak herhalde. Gerçekten. Herkes de burada ha. Tüm direniş burada. Haydi. Pekala. Evet arkadaşlar, Kingdom Come Deliverance'da bir bölümün daha sonuna geldik. Hikaye kaldığı yerden devam edecek. Sonraki bölümde görüşmek üzere. Kendinize çok iyi bakın. Hoşçakalın.